Okay, we're continuing with segment 22, shared interest, second part. This is a really interesting activity slash process. I'm going to strongly encourage you to keep your agreements and do this in your groups if you're not in one single group, as the activity says. And the reason is that it's designed to generate significant emotional experiences, something that will move you and you'll remember. This significant emotional experiences, if you're not familiar with them, these are things that trigger events and memories. Like if you can remember where you were when a famous person was assassinated, or in my case, Challenger and the Hubble mirror flaw, things like that. I remember them so vividly. So we're doing this for a reason. So please do not just make a negotiation, do this process. So begin with one group, and by the way, the group doesn't have to be in the room. So let's say you're having a difficulty with another organization. Then you're going to ask, what do they want? And I'm going to call them X, that you can want for them also. We also say it's very common to have two organizations in the room together. And when I do this, I ask X to be silent and let Y do the exploration. Then I will confirm, I will do the facilitation. I'll confirm with the X this is correct. And I'll give you a very simple example. I had a problem with a manager and head of one organization and head of another, and I said, well, what does Ed want that you can want for him also? And the other team said, well, we want him to be successful. And Ed said, what do you mean me to be successful? I never knew you cared about me. Yes, of course, because you're our sponsor, and if you're successful, we're successful. And on it goes. This is pretty straightforward. People can do this. If they get stalled out, you can give a little help, ask a question. Would this work? Would that work? Or if it's a government team with a contractor, the government team will say, well, we want the contractor to make a fair profit. And the contractor will say, what? We didn't think you wanted that. We thought you wanted to minimize our profit. And the government guys will say, no. We want you to have a fair profit because that's how we get the best people assigned to our work. Then after you do it with the first team, reverse it and do it with the second. You can do this with teams talking about customers, any manner of things, whatever moves the teams to do it. This is a little bit of facilitation required, but very, very satisfying result. Wrapping up this section, here's the actions you're going to take when you go back to work. Again, I love this expression. People do things for their reasons, not ours. Another thing you can do, download this full slide set. They're at my website. You can go get them for free, and you can have your 4D provider or your client program manager do this for you, or you can have someone from the Human Resources Organization come do it, whatever. And the result is harmonious and productive working and personal relationships. And you get rid of a lot of red storylines. Here's our takeaways. Here's the benefits of finding this goal. It's always there. Comments or questions before we move on. Then we go into the first slide set about inclusion. Thank you, and be back with you soon. Bye-bye.